every single human being wants one thing, and that is happiness, ultimately happiness. It's something we all seek. Now the problem is, everyone has a different definition of how you get it. And in the society that we live in right now, in the modern time we live in now, we are told that in order to find happiness, you need to get stuff. You need to have power or money or status. In fact, they did a study in which they asked millennials, what is your number one goal? What's your number one goal? And the majority of them said their number one goal was to make money. And then just after that, I think it was 80% or something. And then just after that, the answer was to be famous. Now there's a reason why this is the number one goal. The reason is that the belief internally is that this is where happiness is. That's where I will find happiness. Now I want to talk about that for a moment. What is happiness? Because for me to get somewhere, I have to know where I'm going, right? If I'm going in the car and I'm going to drive, and I have to put something into my GPS, but I'm not really sure what the address is, I'm not going to end up there, right? So I have to be clear about where it is I want to end up if I'm going to get there. What is true happiness? And the answer is this. There are different types of happiness, okay? I'm going to put it in two categories. There is what I'm going to call physical happiness, and then there is inner happiness. Physical happiness is the happiness that even an animal can have. Physical pleasure is when you, for example, you eat a really great chocolate piece, piece of chocolate cake. That gives you pleasure, okay? Physical happiness is something that is at the level that we can even share with animals. But the human being, yes, there is physical pleasure. That exists. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made some of it halal and some of it haram. So as long as it is within the halal, there's nothing wrong with that. But the human being has been given the capacity to reach a higher level of happiness. A higher level than just the physical. A higher level than just what an animal can feel or what an animal can experience. Because an animal eats, sleeps, and reproduces, and that's its happiness. But a human being has a higher way to live. And that is the happiness of the heart and the soul. That's the inner happiness or the inner peace. And it's that happiness that people are ultimately seeking when they try to find it in just physical happiness. But that's the end goal that they aren't able to get to because they don't know where to find it or what it looks like. There are so many people who have those things that the millennials were saying that's their goal, right? Wealth and fame. Let's look at the people who have wealth and fame. The people who have wealth and fame, why are many of them committing suicide? Why are many of them addicted to alcohol and drugs? What is it that they're missing if they have the wealth and the fame? What emptiness is it that they're trying to fill? The reason that happens is because there's something inside of every human being that has to be filled, and it cannot be filled with wealth and fame. In fact, as Ibn al-Qayyim says, it can't be filled with anything other than the nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inside of every human being that can't be filled except in the remembrance of Allah, except in being close to Allah. أَلَا بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ تَطْمَئِنُّ الْقُلُوبِ. That indeed it's in the remembrance of God that the hearts find true inner peace, that inner peace and tranquility. Now, what are some of the stumbling blocks? What are some of the things that keep us from getting inner peace, true inner peace? Well, there's a few things. To begin with, we live in a world of distraction. Everywhere we turn, we're being distracted. We live in a world that makes us focus on the wrong things, essentially. And those things tend to be that which we can see, that which we can feel, that which we can touch. So we live in a world that basically makes you focused on the physical world and forget about the unseen world. But unless we can be a people who believe in the unseen and a people who actually see the unseen as more real than the seen, then we can't find true happiness. And what do I mean by that? See, as believers, if you look at the prescription that we're given by Allah and His Messenger, so every single day we're told to do certain things. If you follow that prescription, what does it do for you? If you follow the prescription of salah 5 times a day, if you follow the prescription of the adhkar, saying the remembrance in the morning and the evening and before you sleep, if you follow the prescription of Quran, if you stay away from what Allah has forbidden us from going to and only do that which Allah has commanded, what does that do internally? Well, what it does, first of all, is it makes us focus on the unseen until the unseen becomes real to us. Because you see, when you're praying, can you see even the Kaaba that you're facing? No, not unless you're there. When you're praying, can you see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? No. Can you see the angels that are around you? No. Right now, we're sitting in a gathering of dhikr, meaning we're remembering Allah. And we're told that anytime you sit in a gathering where you're remembering Allah, the angels come down and sit with you. And they fill the area between the heavens and the earth. Can anyone see them? I'd be concerned about you if you thought you could. So, no, you can't, right? So what we have to come back to doing is training our hearts to focus on the
A lot of people just want to chit-chat. You feel me? They just want to chit-chat. And they want to keep chitting-chatting, okay? And chit-chatting. And it's really fun, and it's cool, but don't want to actually commit. Please, to those people say, ain't nobody got time. Please realize that your worth is far too high to waste your time with people just looking to chit-chat, okay? If a man, as she said, is actually serious about wanting to get married, he will want to approach your wali, your father, early on in the whole conversation. And if you find that he is absolutely hesitant about that step, then he may be a chit-chatter. And ain't nobody got time for chit-chatters, I promise you. And so what I'll say to you is, please save yourself a lot of headache and heartache and time, and don't even go down that road, all right? So one is, are you at a stage where you can get married? That's very important, obviously. But the other is this person actually serious about getting married, or are they just looking to fill up some time because it's fun? And this whole idea, well, let's just be friends. No. Okay, I'm very serious and I'm looking for marriage, and I'm not interested in just chit-chatting. So make sure that you have, one of the best indicators is, okay, can you talk to my dad? And realize talking to someone's dad doesn't mean you're going to do nikah the next day in 24 hours. Find that he is absolutely hesitant about that step, then he may be a chit-chatter. And ain't nobody got time for chit-chatters, I promise you. And so what I'll say to you is, please save yourself a lot of headache and heartache and time, and don't even go down that road. All right. So one is, are you at a stage where you can get married? That's very important, obviously. But the other is this person actually serious about getting married, or are they just looking to fill up some time because it's fun? And this whole idea, well, let's just be friends. No. Okay, I'm very serious and I'm looking for marriage and I'm not interested in just chit-chatting. So make sure that you have, you know, one of the best like indicators is, okay, can you talk to my dad? And realize talking to someone's dad doesn't mean you're going to do nikah the next day in 24 hours.
لك سر عند الله بينك أنت وبين الله هل لك صدقات تخفى لا يعلمها إلا الله هل لك سر عند الله